Hey guys, welcome back to another video in my How to Improve Your Sight Reading series. This is episode 3 and we're going to learn about recognizing rhythmic patterns. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and make sure to check the notifications bell to never miss a new video. Also, if you're looking for online piano lessons, there's going to be information in the description below. So in lesson 1 we talked about melodic intervals. In lesson 2 we talked about harmonic intervals, recognizing basic chord shapes by looking at 2 notes at the same time. And in this episode we're going to learn about rhythm, because obviously sight reading is only part melody. The other half is being able to read rhythms, because melodies without rhythms are kind of lost as well. I'm going to show you 3 examples and I'm going to talk you through those. All 3 examples are from the ABRSM piano exams sight reading test. One is from grade 1, the other one is from grade 4, and the other one is from grade 8. So 3 very different levels, very far away from each other. When I say recognizing rhythmic patterns, I mean that sometimes in music we see lots of rhythmic patterns repeated. And when a pattern repeats, if we understand how it works the first time, we don't have to think about it the second, third, and multiple times when it occurs again in the music, because we'll know how it sounds. So let's have a look at this example here, which is dancing, and we see 6 bars of music, a very short sight reading exercise from grade 1. If you start playing this, you can obviously count from beginning, kind of get surprised in every bar, what is the new rhythm? But when I look at this, I see instantly that in bar 1 and 2, the rhythm is the same. So once I know how to play bar 1, I will know how to play bar 2 without thinking too much about the counting or the rhythm. So first, before I even start playing, I'm going to internalize the rhythm. So I see a crotchet, a quarter note followed by 2 quavers to 8th note, which sounds like this: ta, ti, ti. And then it repeats: ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. Left hand: ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. So when I start playing this, instead of going 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, I'm going to think of my rhythm that it's long, short, short, long, short, short. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. And this way I can read the rhythms much easier. Now, this is a very short example and the pattern only repeats twice. But let's assume that you play a sonata or just a simple Burgmüller piece, and the pattern repeats like 20 times in the piece. So if you see something repeating so many times, you don't have to think about that rhythm anymore, because you can visually see that it's the same. So you're just gonna go with the same rhythm, and in the very beginning, try to internalize the rhythm, clap it a couple of times, or just go ta, ti, ti, and once you know how the rhythm sounds, you can play it again and again without counting even or thinking too much about the rhythm. Now let's see another example. This one is still from grade 1, but as you can see, the pattern repeats exactly the same in the left hand as it was in the right hand. So crotchet, quaver, quaver, crotchet, quaver, quaver, minim. And the left hand plays the same rhythm. So instead of trying to play the whole exercise by counting and trying to figure out each rhythm in every bar, I can instantly see that the left hand is going to copy the rhythm of the right hand. So I don't have to think about the left hand rhythm anymore. So it goes like this: ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 2. Left hand: ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 2. So if I start 1 on the F, I've got a B flat. So the benefit of internalizing the rhythm is that instead of spending time on trying to work out the left hand rhythm bar by bar, I can see that it's the same as the right hand, so I'm just gonna go with what I played in the right hand. And again, the longer the piece is, the more you'll see the benefit of this. If something is very short, like 4 or 8 bars, then it's harder to see the benefit because you still have to look at those bars. But when you see the same rhythmic pattern coming back every second bar, then you instantly know how it sounds, so it's going to make your sight reading much faster. This next example is from grade 3, and as you can see, we've got different rhythms in both hands and now they play together at the same time. So the left hand is playing crotchet, we've got 3 beats in every bar, and the second and third beats are rests. So I can instantly see that the left hand is just going to play the first beat apart from the second last bar. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But what can happen, this is what I see with my students, when they look at the 2 hands together, they either ignore the rest in the right hand or they play the 2 quavers as crotchets like this. Which is completely wrong, but this is what I hear very often when they first attempt it. So I always tell them, look at the first bar of this example because the second, third and fourth bar is exactly the same. So if you know how the 2 hands come together in the first bar, you're going to know how to play the other bars, so there's less chance of making a mistake. So I can see that the left hand is ta, then the right hand comes after that, ti, ti, ta. So ta, ti, ti, ta. 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 And once I know that the left hand is the one and then right hand goes ti, ti, ta, then I instantly know that rhythm and I'm just going to copy the same in bar 2, 3, 4. And that makes my sight reading again much more efficient and quicker than messing up the rhythm in every single bar. So before you start the exercise, think about that first bar, try to tap it out, clap it out, or do this ta, ti, ti, ta, just so you know which hand is playing what rhythm. The next example is from grade 5, and as you can see, it's a lot harder. We've got smaller note values and more interesting divisions between the 2 hands. So I'm looking again at the first bar because I can see that bar 2 and 3 is the same as the first bar. And if you look into the second line, you can see that it's the same rhythm, but it's inverted. So the right hand is playing the left hand rhythm and the left hand is playing the right hand rhythm, but the sound is going to be the same of the rhythm. So I'm looking at the first bar and I'm trying to figure out how it's going to sound. I've got 3 beats and I can see that the left hand is the first beat. Then the right hand comes up with an upbeat right at the end of the first beat. So it's gonna go like this. Ta, ti, ta, ta. So the right hand quavers are the 2 and 3rd beat, and the semi-quaver, the 16th note, is the upbeat. So ta, ti, ta, 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 ti, ta, ta. Or I could go more correctly, tam, ri, ta, ta, tam, ri, ta, ta. And I can see in the very last bar I've got something different, so I have to squeeze 4 semiquavers into one bar. So ti, 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 ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, ta. And now again I know how the rhythm sounds, so I'm going to tap it out with my 2 hands. Tam, ti, ta, ta, tam, ri, ta, ta, tam, ri, ta, ta. Now what makes it more difficult this time is that all of the notes are staccato, and we've got a drop slur as well, but let's just ignore the staccatos for a second and let's see what happens when we play it. So tam, ri, ta, ta, tam, ri, ta, ta, tam, ri, ta, ta, di, 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 dum. And when you put your staccatos in, and then what happens in the second line, the right hand takes over the left hand rhythm and the left hand takes over the right hand rhythm. So tam, ri, ta, ta. Now the notes are quite difficult to read in this exercise, so obviously your note reading has to be good enough in order to realize the rhythm. If you can't read the notes, then it's going to be very hard to do anything with the rhythm. But if you can read the notes but you don't know how to read the rhythms, it's just as much as a failure. The final example is from grade 8, so it's going to be a lot more challenging, and the rhythm here is a Jazzy Waltz, so it's in 3/4, but as you can see, the bar is divided into 2 equal notes, so 2 dotted crotchets or dotted quarter notes, but the second note is tied, which can already create a lot of confusion, because how do you play this rhythm? Is it going to be or I saw so many different wrong versions of this. So what I would do is, first of all, I would count out that rhythm, because every time you have something dotted and ties, it's always very good to count. So it's gonna go like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And as you can see, the rhythm stays the same in quite a few bars all the way to the end. So I'm going to practice this 2 more times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So the second note comes on the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And once I know this rhythm, the left hand is okay, and I can focus on my right hand. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and. So as you could see, because I was counting for the left hand already, the right hand was easier to get in. But the left hand is what's causing the biggest trouble in this exercise, because it's very sustained all the way through, but the rhythm is kind of broken into 2 in the middle of the bar. So if you know how to play the first 2 bars, you're going to have success all the way to the end, because the rhythmic pattern repeats, repeats, and repeats. So I hope this little lesson helped you get some insight into the importance of understanding rhythmic patterns, that you don't have to torture yourself by trying to figure out the rhythm in every single bar. Scan the score through with your eyes and check for repeated patterns. If you see a pattern repeating many times, then try to first step it out, clap it out, internalize it, and then once you start actually sight reading the exercise or playing the exercise or piece, it's going to be much easier to get through that rhythmic pattern without getting much trouble or hesitation. Try it out a few times with a couple of exercises and you'll see that it really helps. It might not seem like a beneficial thing when you first read about it or learn about it, but as soon as you get it into your practice, trust me, it's really going to help.